Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. I'm Milad Kambarak, and welcome to the introduction of another add-on from the Blender add-on collection. This add-on is called Smart Segmentation.
Segmentation is the process that separates our model into smaller models, specifically models that are the result of 3D scans, or models created using artificial intelligence. They are inherently single merged models, like this one I have here. The entire model is a single merged piece.
If you look, even its mesh is a triangular mesh. This triangular meshing itself makes our work very difficult. And it becomes very time-consuming to segment and break this model apart. Well, we don't have many options here. Either we go for paid AI services and pay money, and use AI like Trip AI, using its segmentation. Naturally, that process of getting results is time-consuming. Or we could use free AI, like Hanyuan, which aren't very accurate, and their segmentation process is also time-consuming. Or we could use an add-on like this one, which makes our work much faster and easier.
This add-on analyzes our model and separates its different components from each other. I've also included some features so you can manually refine this segmentation yourself.
Let's go together and see what parameters it has. Of course, the first thing you need to do is analyze the model. When you analyze the model, it begins the analysis.
And since my model is a high poly model, it's very heavy. Naturally, this process takes a bit longer than a low poly model to complete for us. Now the segmentation is done.
Okay, here it performed the initial segmentation for us. The initial segmentation is 8 parts, but naturally, as its name suggests, the higher this number goes, the more it divides our model into smaller parts.
For example, if I put 30 here, our model will be divided into smaller parts and segments. Now I'll put 8 here. I reached the number 8 for this model. The initial number is good, but even with this number 8,
you still see some areas are stuck together and are one piece. Like here, for example, the t-shirt, the hood, the head, the neck are all stuck together. That's okay.
You should perform the initial process and the initial procedure, and then you can come back and refine it, dividing it into more parts. Okay, now after I've done this,
I want to divide this section of my model into smaller parts. So I'll come here. I have an option called
I click this, I click on it. What does this do? It divides each section separately into smaller parts. I'll tell it to only divide this specific section into smaller parts and split it into smaller parts. So I select it, and now I'll increase the number here. For example, I'll set the number to 14 here, or 12, 11. Let's see which number is better. 12 is better because it also included our t-shirt. Okay, we've now reached the number 12, and the clothing,
The hood part, the t-shirt part, the head and neck part, it has separated all of these. But if you look at the hood part,
its sleeves are still not connected and are separate. That's perfectly fine. With a section called Target, with a section called Manual Merge, I'll click this Pick Merge section. And very quickly, what does Pick Merge say? It says to connect the parts together. All right, for the rest, when we want to connect the parts, we first need to define the source and main part for it. Which part? We'll say this part is our source and main part. And then after that, whatever we click, it connects it to this part and makes its color like the others. Okay, here they were connected. Let's connect the caption's HOTS part too. All right, the caption part was also connected. So here, definitely press the Enter key so that you can see the caption has completely become one color, firmly and properly. But here, there are some sections, some issues exist, because our model's mesh is triangular, and you can see these parts are messed up. Meaning some parts of the t-shirt have come onto the neck. How do we fix this? We have another section here called
The merge brush comes. It can select the parts we want for us with a brush, with a lasso tool. For example, I'll say this part. This part belongs to the neck, so we'll do it here.
I'll set the pick target mode, and let's select the target. What is its target? Its target is the head, meaning everything that is here, we want it to be connected to the head. I'll set its mode to lasso, and then I'll use merge lasso.
When I use merge lasso here,
when I draw a lasso tool like this?
I draw a lasso tool like this. This part, which was on our neck, now connects to the clothing, meaning it's subtracted from the clothing part and connects to our main clothing. Okay, I can
select it again and connect it to the clothing part. It has 3 modes: brush mode, rectangle mode, and lasso tool mode. Until a process is finished and we haven't confirmed it, we cannot go out to confirm it. But we must definitely press the Enter button afterwards. But here, pay close attention to one point. The color selected here is the color of the source section, right? Now, what if we want to add to it? Hold Shift, click on this one, and color it. This means I want to modify, for example, the edges of the clothing.
I will do it. Now, when you drag, it will appear in this manner.
It will perform this part of the clothing for you.
If you hold Control and reverse the process, if you do the process exactly again, it will perform this action in reverse for you. I'll hold Shift again, and this is selected. Now I say, let this part be selected. This part belongs to
the clothing. This part belongs to the neck. Again, in this manner, we can specify it for it, and we can clean up our workflow in this way. When I click this, all these items will be saved. Now look here. Here's another example. I click Change Target. I click here as my main model.
And I click Merge Less.
And I come and select this part. Okay, this section is selected. Or I come and select this part. This section is selected for me. After we have done all these things, before we press the Split button, let's do an Explode to see what happened to your model. Has everything separated from each other and separated well? I click Explode.
And first, I'll make sure that the process we did with Merge Less is solid, and I click Explode. When I click Explode, it starts separating these models from each other. Okay, it separated them. Now, in this way, I can see if anything is misplaced, or if, for example, a piece needs to be separated from another. We see that here, for instance. The hand part should be separated from its glove, so this is a situation where splitting is needed.
Don't split yet. Use the split function in the very last step. That means when all your work is finished, then you can apply the split. When you activate split, your model, based on the coloring we have here, will convert it into truly separated parts.
But don't use the split function until you are completely sure and have seen the result using Explode. Now, let's assume we've done this and are confident. The first thing we'll do is bake material, so that the material gets baked onto our model, especially if it's a layered material. Then we press the Split button, so that when we split, the material doesn't get messed up. So I'll press the Split button here, because my model is a high poly one.
It will take a bit longer for the splitting process, but I'll use the split function available here, so we can see the result together at this stage and check a few things.
Okay, the model has separated. The head part is separate.
The body part is separate, and all the other parts have separated from each other. And we can see that the different parts of the body have separated. Just don't forget, even after the stage, for example, I'll select the pants part, and then I'll use the Analyze Model function again.
I'll apply it, and we can implement this same process again on our pants model, as if it were a new model. Don't forget, before splitting, you can define whether these openings that are created should be capped or simply closed.
This is your choice, and depending on your specific needs, you can define whether this action occurs or not. That's it for this add-on. I hope it makes your work much faster and significantly easier.